because the thing that I found out is, right away when somebody wants to do something, uh, we'll take the commercial and real estate industry.
Yeah.
Somebody
All
has
right.
a 5,000 square foot space, and all of a sudden they want to redo it all. Right away, they call a contractor, right? That's not necessarily the best move to make, right? The best move might be, to call in an architect, right? To come in and see what the needs and wants are and what can actually be done. Because a lot of the times the pain points are not, can be solved very minimally from an architect. It's space planning, right? They're maybe not utilizing the space correctly. Maybe they're not, a couple of little switches, little moves here and there might solve their problems. Whereas a general contractor be just like, okay, well, what do you want, right? You know what I mean? So I think a lot of times a client could best uses of when they don't know what they're doing is to hire somebody that's in the design world. Maybe not an architect per se, but somebody that knows space planning and knows offices and knows how the dynamics works in an office, right? A person like Christiana or Jennifer that knows how the space works, right? Because they're, again, being on the general contractor side, we just build what you want. If you don't know what you want, how are you supposed to build it, right? So I think a lot of the times, I think going that direction is a lot more fruitful for the client, right? Before it even gets to the contractor, what is it that you really want, right? As far as the tenant or the client, I think that's really the first question I think needs to come up to the end user.
Okay, so from your point of view as a contractor, Nick, how significant or important is it to have the dimensions before you kind of analyze or prepare for a project versus, as you say, people asking you, or telling you, here's what we want. So if you know this has to be 16.7 inches versus you've got to say, hey, we could do it as 17 inches and engage, how important, how critical is that to you getting a project done successfully to have those dimensions?
Oh, it's very, yeah, it's very critical, right? Because like I was just saying, is what playing the general contractor role, right? You might say something and be like, okay, you want a bathroom here? That's fine. We got the room, we can put it up. But, if somebody would have looked at it before, it might have been like, best use of a bathroom would be over here on this side because, this might be used for other spaces that you have a pain point for, right? So it's very critical for when the contractor gets the plans, the directions of how to build, that it's been thought out carefully with dimensions, with uh how high things are, how long things are, right? Precise dimensions. So that way we as a general contractor know, hey, this is going here, not a problem. Let's get it done. Right. All the thinking and everything has been done. It's our turn to just put it together. Right. It's like Legos. I bring up the Legos up a lot, right? You're not going to get a box of Legos with no directions, right? How am I supposed to put this together? Right? You need the directions, which the architects put together. I got the Legos. I'll put it all together. Not a problem. I just follow the directions, right?